Fort Jesus Warriors Club once more, and today's topic is this is terrorism. There was a time when I was a small boy and there was the Palestinian Liberation Organization going on full swing, and Israel going on full swing, and each one was calling the other one terrorist. So I liked the way Yasser Arafat would pronounce it. This is terrorism. It was interesting. When we were small, it would excite us. But I want to use the same word to us. This is terrorism. What's terrorism? There was a time when those wars were going on and I was a small boy, and I heard my dad talking of some bombing in a place called Munich. There was an Olympic and some people penetrated and they bombed. Then later, when I had just started working for some time, the United States was seen by those who were fighting, as opposed to countries in the Middle East. So it had been taken as enemy number one. And Kenya being friendly to all countries, we have all embassies in Nairobi. Some people decided to do a revenge mission on the American embassy, which was next to Cooperative House in Nairobi. If you go to Nairobi, Cooperative House was the Teachers Service Commission headquarters that time. So they came with the first time they surveyed, and then they came and bombed. But they did not get the American ambassador. She was there with some other Kenyan dignitaries having a meeting, but where they were, it was not that much damage. People died. It was the first time for a major bomb, terrorist bomb, to be done in Nairobi. Many people were injured. And it is a time that people felt compassion for the first time, because people were buried under the wreckage. There is this lady who everybody prayed for. People shed tears. People prayed that she would be recovered, be saved whole. And she kept talking until the last minute, when she said, "I've tried to hold out. Thank you for helping me. But that's where my strength can take me." And that's how she went. Her name was Rose. Every Kenyan was sad. People cried because their hope was fixated. Some people had died, others, but now this was the last hope. Rescue. Everybody was out. At least she has survived. At least she has survived. To this moment, she has survived. And then, at the very last moment, Kenyan lost that brave lady. Why am I talking about that? I'm talking about things that we neglect, things that we leave, things that we participate in that result to such a things. For instance, that bombing, there was a security failure because the American embassy itself confessed the security had seen people who were suspicious some day back, but they didn't take it so seriously. When they came to be taken seriously, the embassy was down. Many of the people had, but people learned from that time. I'm not only talking of that kind of terrorism. We have had other terrorist activities in the city. Some took us unawares. But as we highlight on those big ones, like the Nakumat bombing and all that, we forget other kinds of terrorists. Yes, you are a builder. Yes, you are a company that constructs. You are an architect. Architect, whatever it is. You are a quantity surveyor. You are an inspector. But you are seen behind the scenes and you approve things that are substandard. Eventually, the building comes down on the builders or on people residing in that building. It has happened several times. Structural failure. Somebody failed the structure because the structure cannot fail itself during the construction. So we cause construction failure. If it was the kinsman keeper, Hammurabi or Hammurabi, that one would have called for a death sentence. It's the laws that we got the 10 Commandments from. Because to him it was, if you are an architect or a builder and you build a house and it collapses on a family, your family will be put to death. That was that. But here we can be able to twist around. Houses go down. And what happens? We are very sorrowful. The owners are chased here and there. Those who constructed are chased in the heat of the moment. A week or 2 weeks later, it's a forgotten story. The whole story continues. That's why we have been having continuous collapses. Structural failure here, a building is failed here. After a short while, another building that has been failed by the constructor somewhere else. So you have a series of structural failures. That's one. 2, we have been on the forefront. And this one, let's take it seriously. I said Kenyans, we are a very corrupt society. We refuse. We see the corruption in our leaders. Can you imagine? Charging somebody twice the fare. Because vehicles are moving and it is holiday time. There are many people. Twice. And you are very happy. Today I've made a kill. I made 4 times the profit. And you are happy. You are a terrorist. Yes. What happens? Some budgets have been put under your name, under your care. You pay for everything. And we know how to cook. Look for a good accountant and you cook all the figures and everything is numerically, everything perfect. You are a terrorist. You're operating large stores. Things have expired. There are even some reasonable places that do that. And because they expire, and people rarely come to check, or people who come to check sometimes are also seen behind their back, the new stickers are put on expired goods. And you go, the expiry date is, some people get sick, some are lucky they don't get. But you know what you have done? Terrorism. You come to things that are normal. A place you can be a shop, because it has happened in shops. It has happened in certain places. A computer is generating things, a price for, let's say, a table or whatever, because the place is so busy. When he's supposed to charge 1 shilling, he writes 3 shillings and tells the customer, don't worry, we want 3 shillings, now take it at 2 shillings. And he keeps a shilling. And the receipt is fine. You're bringing down the very business that is sustaining you as a worker. You are a terrorist. We come to companies in government. You're supposed to give medicine if it's a hospital. You are supposed to give whatever services that are required. And you refuse unless you are induced with money. You know who you are? You are a terrorist. Come to places like electricity or water where people are billed, because that is what happens. People put, and they put the figures you have consumed. If you go to the shop, you buy a kilo of sugar, you pay for the kilo. But if somebody tells you that is the weight, just pay that way, there's no weighing, then it becomes a problem. You refuse to match such a things. What are you doing? Let's say you are buying a piece of land. Somebody sees that there is a big shortage there and sells you at a very high price, or others go and forge the title deeds. You buy the land today, tomorrow you are told it did not belong to that person. I've seen a place where I was, somebody's house had to be brought down. He paid the full amount, knowing he'd finished, build a full house, and little did he know that whatever he was doing was on a forged piece of land, title deed. The owner came and it was passed that the house should be demolished. A beautiful house, very expensive house, was pulled down. What did that guy do to the other one? Terrorism. There have been hospital bills. You go to the hospital because you know the hospital insurance will do this, and they tell you we are going to undercharge this. And then we do a sharing thing, but accept it was this much. They exaggerate the bill, and you exaggerate the bill. You're straining wherever that money is supposed to come from. Money that would have been used to help somebody else in that situation. Why do you call yourself a terrorist? We've been fighting and calling our leaders corrupt. How clean are we ourselves? Can we pass the test of cleanliness? Can we? They have failed our economy, we say. They have not attended to our very needs, we say. But if it is reversed, can we be able to throw the first stone, like Jesus said? So, to me, I'm just calling upon us to do soul searching. Soul searching. We may be calling others terrorists, but we are terrorists. This is a new year. Let's preach, talk, teach what we do, not the opposite. I have come to understand in many parts of the world and even here, people are incensed when you tell them the truth. Ever heard of somebody going for an interview and you know the reason you are sent away? Now, the people in this place are supposed to get this grade. You see, you excelled more than them. This is something smaller than you. So for that reason, go look for something of your caliber. Not you failed. No. You excelled beyond. You are the best. So being the best disqualifies you. We want mediocre people here, not those who have excelled. There are things that are happening. Many of those things have been going on. What happens? We gang up. It has been done to our institution. We shall gang up. We shall deny services. We shall do whatever. They can go wherever. Because we know the bosses. Where will they take us? We can go contrary to whatever we want. It's supposed to be done. That has been happening in many countries of the world. And it has taken us back. Imagine if you're working in a shop and you're stealing from that same shop. You will cause the shop to collapse. And the owner who had put the investment to lose what is in that investment. There was a time in the school, in the town where I was formerly, it happened. Somebody had employed people and they were busy stealing. And when it collapsed, they had not stored anything because they were stealing for their own luxury. It collapsed. They lost their jobs. Fortunately, he was able to get some other loan. He stood up again. But they had taken the brunt of whatever had happened. So we can be in a position administratively, security-wise, a big office, and we can look down upon people because we are in that privileged positions. After all, what will they do? I am the one in charge, or I know the ones in charge. These are the people I work with. So I can do anything that is wrong, and when you come, they'll defend me. Who will you go to? To the director, who is my friend. And you do things that are against what is supposed to be done. And you feel happy. What can they do? We are the ones who control these offices. And when they come, we shall make things harder. We shall even refuse them services. Say they are unruly, they are uncooperative, they are whatever. This happens to people in many places, public places, other places of services. And they don't have a way of responding because you start on that one and these people work together. So when you do to that one, what shall we say? Came rudely, has been going against whatever, is the only one who is asking for that. as if it's a crime. We shall gang up. That happens. So as we call for our leaders to stop being corrupt, let us call on ourselves also to stop being corrupt. Because corrupt starts from the lowest point to the highest point. There are people who have gone to places where you find maybe it is something that is supposed to be connected to your house. A construction is supposed to, and people are supposed to approve, and such like things. But they don't. Nobody responds. And you go and they all look at you. Now you want us all to go. We have got other commitments. Wait until, and it goes like that. And that is the only place you can go to. So you are left at a loss. And that's why there is, people now take to seeing people behind the scenes. So, Kenya, Africa, we want a clean system. We want clean politicians. Why don't we start by cleaning ourselves first? That's my take for now. Otherwise, that is what I would say, like Yasser Arafat used to say, that is terrorism. We are no worse than those people who blow up those buildings. Those who don't check those buildings, they give them structural failure and claim the buildings had structural failure. It is us. Let's do soul searching. Let's start with ourselves. That's my take for now.